In this video, what I'd like to do is show you how to set up a city in one-point perspective. We're going to put the street down the middle and have 4 buildings on this side, 4 buildings on this side with 1 building behind it, and then I'll show you how to set it up. But then you can design the city, the different shops and buildings the way you'd like to, and then put a city in the background if you'd like. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Now we're ready to begin your one-point perspective city. Take your ruler and measure over on the bottom of the paper over 9 inches and put a dot right there. And then measure up 6 inches straight up right in the center of the paper. You're going to put a dot right there. Now I'm going to use a Sharpie marker so that you can see it in this video, but you use a pencil. That's your vanishing point. That's going to be right here. So I'm going to put a VP in pencil so that I can erase it later. That's going to be my vanishing point. Next, measure over 6 inches from this side to here and put a dot at the bottom of the paper. On the other side, measure over 6 inches and put a dot on that side right here at the bottom of the paper. These are going to be the 2 sides of your street. Then draw a line up to your vanishing point from this 6-inch line, like this. And like this. Then measure over 1 inch right here from that 6-inch line, or you can come in 5 inches from the side. Either way, but you just need an inch sidewalk, and you're going to put that in here. Put a dot at 5 inches or 1 inch over right here on the bottom. Do the same on the other side. Measure out 1 inch or in 5 inches from here and put a dot. This line, draw in lightly. Because you're going to erase part of it. And then draw the same over on the other side, lightly. From here up. So it's going to be like this. Measure up from the bottom of the paper 1 inch here on the side, right down here, and in the middle measure up 1 inch, and then measure up on the right side 1 inch. And what you're going to do, or you could take your ruler and you're going to lightly draw the sidewalk from this side to here, and I've lined up with this point and this point to get the 1 inch mark. Now take your ruler and go over to the other side and draw that line in here. Now you can darken it. What I'm going to do is take the Sharpie so you can see what's going on. going to darken in here, the sidewalk, and then when it comes to the corner, I stop, turn the corner, and carry up to the vanishing point. And stop right there. On the other side, I do the same thing. I start at the edge, come in, stop, and go up to the vanishing point. Next, we're going to create a building right here. I'm going to call it Building A. It's going to have A, B, C, and D on the side. Then there's going to be E, F, G, H, I on the side. So Building A is right here. If you come to the corner, remember that any lines that go like this, keep it parallel with the edge of the paper so that it's straight up and down. And this first line is going to be 10 inches long. So you go straight up to the top and make a line straight up and down 10 inches parallel with the edge of your paper. So it's going to be like that. And then I'm going to go to the side of the paper, put a dot at 10 inches right here. Line these up. I'm going to bring the top of this building over to the side. So it's going to be like this. So this is the outside of Building A. Then I'm going to go to the street, the sidewalk right here, and walk up the sidewalk 2 inches and put a dot. So it's 2 inches up, and I put a dot right there on the sidewalk, like this. And this one, what I do is I'm going to make a light line from the top corner of this building down to the vanishing point like this. So I can see that. Then I take my ruler, line it up with this edge here, keep it parallel with the edge of the paper, keep coming up until I find that point. And then what I'm going to do is I can draw this line straight up and connect it here. And then I can darken in this one and this one. I've got the front edge of Building A. So I'm going to go here. And then line up with my vanishing point to the top corner of this here. I'm going to come down to here and put the line. And so Building A is all set. Now I'm going to go up the street from this point right here, 1.5 inches up to here. So let me measure 1.5 inches, put a dot there. And this line is going to be 5 inches long. So what I'm going to do is take this and measure up to 5 inches here and come back. Let's come back to this first line right here at the back side of Building A. And if you measure from the sidewalk up that wall and put a dot at 5 inches, so from here to here is 5 inches, and line up with your vanishing point, what you're going to do is you're going to make a line right here, and that's going to be the top of the roof on Building B. So you go like this, right there. So from here to here is 5 inches, and then you just put a line from here towards your vanishing point. There's going to be this little section in here. Now, Building C is this one right here, and what's going to happen is this roof on Building C goes straight back like this. So if you take your ruler, keep it parallel with the top of your paper, slide it down to here, and draw that in, you'll see that roof. like this. And go back to the street on the sidewalk, and you're going to go up an inch, and that's how big building C is. So you start here at this dot, come up to here 1 inch, put a dot right there, and that's going to be this edge here. And now I'm going to line up this front corner of building. This is the front corner of building C. I'm going to line that up with my vanishing point, draw a light line down like this to my vanishing point. And then what I'm going to do is draw the far side of building C, going from that 1 inch point straight up until it touches there, and then darken the top of building C. Building D is a 1/2 inch. What you're going to do is you're going to go up from this to here and do a 1/2 inch, and then you're going to measure up the back side of building C 2 inches, put a dot right there at 2 inches, and then you draw a light line from your vanishing point right up to the top of that dot on building D, and then keep your line parallel with the edge of your paper, and let's put building D in there. And then line up with this. So it looks like that. So then we have A, B, C, and D. Now let's go to the other side of the street, and this is going to be building E. What I'm going to do is, keeping my ruler parallel with the edge of the paper, I'm going to come over and make a line 8 inches tall from this corner right here. So it's going to be 8 inches tall, just like this, right there. So from here to here is 8 inches. Go back on this front side of the building 4 inches and put a dot right there. You can come here and put a dot at 4 inches here. And what we're going to do is make a line here. This is the back side of building E. And we're going to make a line from here down here at the bottom to the top. We're going to make it 10 inches. So it's kind of like a step up building. And again, it's parallel with the edge of the paper. That's going to be up there like that. At the top of the building, bring that line straight back like this. So it's going to be like that. On the top of this building, you're going to take that straight back. So this is building E, building F. Now, let's go up the street here. Let's go up 2 inches and put a dot on the street or on the sidewalk right there at 2 inches. And then I'm going to draw the top of building E down like this, lightly to the vanishing point. So it's going to be like that. Then I line up the front side of the building with parallel with the edge of the paper, and I draw a line from this 2 inch mark right here, being 2 inches here. I'm going to draw it straight up until it touches that line going to the vanishing point. And then darken in this. Like that. Next, you're going to go 1.5 inches right here and put a dot on the sidewalk. And this line here, this building is going to be, this building is E, F, and this is G. G is going to be a little bit taller than E. So what happens is take this line and extend it up to 6 inches. So you're going to go from here up to 6 inches and put a dot there and then draw that line down. So it's 6 inches tall. So it sticks up just a little bit. And then you can come down at this angle lightly to your vanishing point. Now, let's take the far side of G, and you're going to make from that dot that's 1.5 inches up, you're going to go straight up to that line that you drew to the vanishing point, like this, and then darken at the top of that building, coming back to here, like this, and then this is where it gets fun because you can see this building coming out here. You're going to go straight across back here until you touch this building here like this, so you can see the front edge of that. And then this point here on building F is going to line up with your vanishing point, so we can bring that down like this. So line that up with your vanishing point and bring that down like this. So you've got that building. Now for building H, which goes right here. This one, you're going to go up the street 1 inch on that sidewalk, 1 inch right there, and put a dot. Then we're going to come back to this line, and we're going to make this one 4.5 inches tall. So you're going to come from here up to 4.5, which is right there, and come down like this so that you've got that line in there, and draw down to the vanishing point. Then let's take that building back, and that's going to tuck back behind building G like this. Then what you're going to do is take that dot, that 1 inch up, draw all the way up to the line that you had drawn from this point to the horizon point, and then darken that in like this. Now for our last building. The last building is going to be a 1/2 inch up the street. You put a dot right here, and you're going to measure up 2 inches on the back side of building H and put a dot on that. And you're going to see there's a line pretty close to that, and just put that down to the vanishing point. And then let's do this back from the dot up to the vanishing point, or the dot up to the line. It's going to be up like this. And then draw from the vanishing point and the top of that line to building H like this. Next thing we're going to do is put the horizon line. Take your ruler, line up with the vanishing point, and make it parallel with the bottom of the paper, and draw straight across like this. And that gives you the horizon line. Next, what I'm going to do is draw the traffic lines, or the stripes, down the middle of the street. And what I do is, from the side where you measured over 9 inches to the center of the paper, that 9-inch line, you're going to make a mark on either side of it, so it's a 1/4 inch wide, like this and this. And that way you're going to just run those two lines up here straight back to the vanishing point, and then move over to here, back to the vanishing point like this. And I do that in pencil lightly to begin with. And then what happens is I just go back an inch and start the first line, and then go back another inch, do the next one, and then just eyeing it, you just kind of make them shorter and shorter as you go back, so it looks like it's going back in space, and that way it gives you depth. Then let me darken this in with the marker so you can see it. And then on the other side, let's darken that in. Do the ends on the stripes. So you can see how it's going back in space. Next, what I'm going to do is put different stories or different floors to these buildings. This 10-inch line that's on this side, what I'm going to do is at every 2 inches, I'm going to put a dot so that I can make the stories or the floors on the buildings, the windows. And so it's every 2 inches, I put a dot. So we got one here, one here, one here, one here, and then all the way to the top. On this side, I'm going to do it every 2 inches. So you start down here, go up 2 inches, put a dot, 2 inches and put a dot, 2 inches and put a dot, like that. The reason for this is so that you can line these up with the horizon line, and you can make windows and doors in the front. And you're going to create 8 different stores, places that you'd like to have in your city. It can be a music place, it can be food, it can be car dealerships, whatever you want, and you're going to be doing these things. But from this point, you're going to take this line and you're going to come back to here towards your vanishing point. You can go all the way if you want, but I just put it here so I can see where the windows and the doors are going to be. Then here, you're going to do another one. Then from here down, and from here down. And I'm going to skip there and go to here like this. So then you can see how the city street is kind of all progressing toward that vanishing point. Now let's do this side. All these buildings coming back to here. And all these here coming back. And these here coming back. I'm going to erase the extra lines in here that I don't need now. Now you've got this done, and you can start creating your own city. I'm going to put doors and windows on here. And as the doors and the windows go back, they get tighter like this. Like you might put a sign right here in the front. And what I'm going to do is finish this one up, just have some fun with it. But you'll be able to see what I can do with it. And then I'm going to also put like a skyline of the city in behind here too, and just have fun with this. But you get to design your city up the way you want to. So next thing I'm going to tell you is make sure that you keep the windows and doors parallel with the sides of the buildings, because a lot of times if you're not thinking, you'll start to bend them like this. So keep them parallel as you're building back here like this with the sides of the building. The same thing on here, and on the end you can just put, like, if you want to have Burger King or whatever on the end. You'd put that there, and then you can do a brick wall or however you want to do it. Put a bicycle leaning up against it with a trash can, however you want to do it. But you can make this your city. So let me make this city now so you can see what's going on. Here's the final city. I put the skyline of the city in the background here like this, and you could shade it in from dark to light. Put a lot of little windows, fading it so that it looks like there's light coming up from the bottom of the city. And then I put a water tower over here. Just shaded some of the windows. You could shade how you like to. You can even use some watercolor in the sky if you wanted to. Use colored pencils to fill in the buildings, but have fun designing the city uniquely to who you are.